Hello and welcome to another week of The Parenting Business, the podcast for parents who also happen to own businesses, run businesses, do all that sort of stuff, and basically dealing with all the shit that goes with it on both sides and the highs as well. Before we get into it, don't forget to follow us on Spotify or wherever you listen. Do also feel free to get in touch with your stories or top tips about how you balance your parenting business. You can either leave us a comment or drop us an email at podcast@parentingbusiness.com. Also, if you like what you hear, please share the podcast with other parents and business owners and make sure you leave us a 5-star review because it really helps us spread the support. In fact, before we go into it, Ben, actually leave us a 5-star review and just say that we're shit. Leave us the funniest 5-star review you can. If it's 5 stars, it's all good. Anyway, with that, on with the show. Hey Ben, how you doing?
Hello, one and all. Very well. And just on that note, if I may expand and get straight into it.
Yeah.
We ask for feedback fairly regular, most shows, and we get a little bit here and there. Listen to it. It was all right. Cheers. Well done, mate. Thank you very much. Keep trying. We've had 2 excellent bits of feedback this week or over the last few days since the last episode or 2 came out. One of them is very constructive, couple of positives, couple of negatives, and really, really happy because we've got a couple of tangible things to work on. And the other one is the best review I've ever seen, best review of anything I've ever had in my entire life. I love it. We'll start with the constructive one, and I'll paraphrase a little bit. A regular listener from north of the border who enjoyed that very much. He was doing his VAT return at the time, and something good to have on in the background. Glad you liked it, Clark.
So we're better than a VAT return.
We make a VAT return marginally less painful.
I can cope with that.
I'll take that.
I'll
take that. We're new at this. I'll take that. John, who we had on podcast he was listening to, came out something, and I mentioned about missing more own goals than Plymouth Argyle. A couple of little witty comments were quite funny. He's mentioned a couple of things as well. We waffle quite a bit, and we really do. We don't plan these at all. We don't plan them badly. We don't plan them at all. So maybe there's something we could work on there. And there's a couple of thoughts we've had, isn't there? So we need to plan a few things.
Maybe we need to start planning.
Maybe get to the point. I once worked with somebody, one of the sales staff, and she's brilliant, and she kept having to say to me, "You're not hungry for waffles." And then when we're in with a customer or a client, she'd mention, "Are you peckish, Ben?" Because I knew, okay, waffle, stop waffling. So there's an element of we could do with working that. We've got a couple of thoughts. We touched on politics. We were meant to be apolitical, but we dive off that. He mentioned that one. The other thing he mentioned was on YouTube, which is where he listens, watches podcasts, there wasn't a video. Well, there is now, but there wasn't when he wrote this, and granted, that's a lot better. So
we are going to be uploading videos to YouTube from now on. It takes a little bit of a faff, and it takes me bloody ages to edit these things. And we can't just upload videos straight from Spotify to YouTube, but we are going to start uploading them separately just so that you can look at our ugly mugs. I don't know why anybody would prefer to, I don't know why anybody would listen, but I don't know why anyone would prefer to watch a video of us than just have us on doing a VAT return. But hey, apparently we've been asked for videos, so we'll start chucking videos onto YouTube as well.
Fat Bob Blokes might be all the rage at the minute, and we wouldn't want to see us.
You can speak for yourself.
That was good. That was good. That was constructive. Couple of things we could work on, couple of things we know about, because frankly, regular listeners will know we kind of started this. We're not seeking fame and fortune and to be the biggest, bestest thing ever going. We think there's fundamentally a lack of emotional support for the roles in which we play in our day to day. And if few listeners can sort of be comforted that they're not alone, maybe come in with their stories, we'll offer a bit of therapy. My wife says this is therapy for me doing this. So forget people out there listening for a minute. As much as we love you, it's about therapy for me.
That was the same for me when we first spoke about this podcast, and it was more just about us having a chat. Yes, we waffle on. Yes, we talk an absolute load of shit. And yes, we talk about some boring stuff at times. Fuck the listeners.
Well, to
an extent, we love you all, but we started this podcast more for us. If nobody listens, then nobody listens.
We would do this anyway.
Don't get me wrong. If one person listens for me, and it helps one person as well as us, then for me, that's a winner. Absolutely, we've won, we've succeeded. This is just about sharing kind of two boring blokes having a chat to get some stuff off their chest and just be a bit cathartic.
And we're thrilled, we've recorded 3 now, guests who are coming on doing the same. That's amazing. And we're also thrilled with the 2 or 3 we've got lined up. But with you saying listening to 2 boring blokes, it brings us quite nicely onto the next review we've had. Not quite as constructive, equally as on the nail, I think. Would you like to do the honours, or can I have that particular pleasure?
No, I found it, but I passed it on to you, so I'll let you do the honours because you've taken much more of this review than I think
it's brilliant.
I have.
It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely, because she's spot on. She's absolutely nailed it. And we mentioned we would leave names out of it, which I don't really care either way, and there's an element of you're probably prudent to do so.
I just don't want us getting sued.
Yeah, sued for what? So the recommendation comes that it would be a good idea for us, Stuart, me and you, to listen to good podcasts before imagining that people would be interested in 2 blokes bore each other with every minute of their dreary lives. Our show that we do has to be one of the most uninspiring things I've ever listened to, even at 1.5 times speed.
Now,
Brilliant.
I've seen this before. I've seen lots of people listen to stuff now at 1.5 speed. Are people's lives that busy that they have to listen to things at 1.5 speed? But also, what I want to know, because I've not done this yet, if we listen to it at 1.5 speed, do we sound like chipmunks?
Or on helium? Let's give it a go. We'll listen back to one of these at 1.5 speed. But I think this is absolutely brilliant because she's not wrong. I lead a very dreary life, and what made me imagine people would want to listen to it. I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun to give this a go. Now, granted, the constructive feedback we had from Clark was actually helpful in how we can improve, and there's a couple of ideas we've had. We're going to be trialing those. But it's just a fantastic review because you're absolutely spot on. It brings me to wonder what a good podcast actually is. So are we fulfilling something for our target audience, and is this person our target audience? So I did have a little click on the profile there, and there's a couple of sweet videos of the dog she's got, which looked lovely.
Must admit, I was ready to rib this person until I did see those couple of videos. Don't get me wrong, they're quite old videos of what looks like amazing dog, and I can't rip someone apart.
We don't want to
kind of take the piss out of them.
We don't.
When they've got such a cute dog.
We don't want to really take the piss. We want to embrace this. We want to embrace
Absolutely.
this.
Yeah,
this is amazing. Nobody gets an advert like this.
No, that's true.
Come and listen to the most uninspiring thing I've ever listened to at 1.5 times speed. This listener made it to the end.
Yeah, it sounds like they did. And
even on 1.5 times speed, you made it to the end. Not everybody does make it to the end. So,
and that's quite funny because I'm the one that looks at the metrics on this.
You are, and you keep me informed
and the
every now and
list of
then.
figures and things.
Yeah.
And most listeners don't make it to the
Don't
end.
make
If
it
you're
to
one
the
of the
end.
few that actually makes it to the end of 2 dreary guys reveling on,
leave us a review better than that. Oh, that's a challenge, isn't it? That's a challenge.
Good on you.
Good on you. Making it to the end. Thank you. I mean, we said we'd leave names out of it, but well done you making it to the end. I don't make it to the end half the time. So I thought that was fantastic. It's like there was an advert doing the rounds. Somebody mentioned this. In fact, it was John, our previous guest, mentioned this in one of the comments. A couple of years ago, there was a coffee shop advertising a review that was the worst cup of coffee one of our customers has ever had in their life. Come and try it. And it went viral. That's our crap coffee going viral moment. Have a listen. It's the most uninspiring thing one person's ever listened to at 1.5 times speed. But she made it to the end. I think that's brilliant. I'm well chuffed with that.
We assume she made it to the end.
Well, she said she made it to the end.
I do like the response that was given, not by us, to that review, which was, well, if you don't like it, don't listen. And absolutely, I agree. We're not going to be for everybody. We are 2 dreary blokes, but hopefully we will start to make it a little bit more interesting. And I'm hoping that the guests that we've had on and we've got coming on will make it a little bit more interesting, make it a little bit more real life, rather than us just wittering on about not really done a lot this week, just kind of sat around on my arse all week and did fuck all.
Tune in to two blokes boring each other with every minute of their dreary lives. So, yeah.
Although, one thing I will say is maybe we're actually more down with the kids, because even my daughter at 4 is obsessed with watching YouTube videos of people playing video games.
Oh, Gogglebox, what's that about? Watching people watch telly, that's entertainment on a Friday night.
Yeah. Surely we're more interesting than somebody just sitting there playing a video game. I would like to think so.
Well, we've got it from our other review that we are slightly more interesting than doing a VAT return.
It's true.
We'll take that. We'll take hot off the press. We'll take that. Anyway, that brings us on quite nicely to something we thought we'd do instead of just babbling on that we've not done fuck all again. What was your highlight of the week, Stu?
Oh, my absolute highlight of the week. Well, there's kind of two, but both relate to the same journey that I took with my daughter. We were driving home from school, I think it was on Friday last, and she said two things. One thing was, "Can I spend more time with you, Daddy?"
Sweet.
Which was amazing. As a separated parent that doesn't have my daughter full time, and I'd love to spend more time with her.
Of course.
For her to say those words to me almost brought me out in tears. That was amazing, and that was shortly followed. So one question I always ask my daughter when I pick her up from school, I don't say, "How was your day?" Because kids, particularly when they're young, can get quite overwhelmed with just, if you give a general "How was your day?" they don't know what they just say, "Oh, it was fine." So what I always say is, "What was the best bit about your day?" A little bit like we're doing now. And the response I got was, "The best bit was being picked up by you."
Yeah. How nice is that?
Being collected. And that was absolutely amazing. And that totally filled my cup for the whole kind of weekend with her. And so, yeah, it's very rare we get those moments, but for her to actually, completely unprompted by me, say, "I want to spend more time with you," and the best part of her day on a Friday at school was being collected by me. So I'll take that any day of the week.
I can relate to that a little bit. One of the things I treasure most is a picture of a handwritten note from nursery. And Jasmine, one of my girls, is washing her hands after painting with a big smile on her face. And the nursery teacher, what are you happy about, Jasmine? What are you smiling about, Jasmine? What makes you happy? And she just went, "My daddy makes me happy." And the nursery teacher wrote it down, took a picture, sent it. "Oh, treasure, that's amazing." So I get where you're coming from there. That's top notch.
I think for me, as a separated parent, that I won't go into details, but it was a long, hard slog getting to spend time with my daughter. One thing I will say is our family court system is completely broken, and somebody needs to do something about it. It was partly because of that it meant so much more than anything. And I say it almost had me in tears on the drive home. Anyway, now I've gushed and talked about that.
Well, I'm just going to add a smidgen into there, and I hope you don't mind. Yeah. Edit me out if you do. But the battles you've had, you've got some real scars there. And if anybody listening to this is battling, I dare say, and I don't want to preempt yourself, Stuart, but if you're struggling with that battle, get in touch with Stu. He knows how much it hurts.
Absolutely.
And that's what this podcast's about. As much as we like rave reviews like the dullest thing we've ever heard and the most uninspiring listen, that's what we're trying to do. So please reach out if you think you're struggling. Sorry, mate, carry on.
No. I won't go into details publicly on the podcast. It's for me, it's a very personal thing. And also, I think it's a little bit unfair on my daughter, because when you post up on the internet, it's there forever. And despite challenges between me and her mum and battles and courtrooms and all this, that, and the other, it's unfair on her mum as well.
Of course.
And at the end of the day, regardless of feelings between me and her mum, she is still the mother of my daughter, no matter what happens.
Just to clarify, I'm not necessarily saying if you're struggling, come on the show. Just get in touch. You're not alone.
Absolutely. Drop us an email. I tend to pick up the emails anyway, so do drop us an email and absolutely reach out if you are struggling, because I have been there. And I'm to an extent still going through it. It's 2 years now, over 2 years, 2.5 years. So yeah, you are not alone. I understand it's a really long process going through the court system. I imagine it's difficult for mums as well, but as a dad, particularly difficult. I found it. So yeah, on that slightly somber note, after a high point, let's now go on to them, Ben. So your highlight for the week.
Swimming with my girls at the weekend, because 4 months ago we started swimming lessons, and swimming's something we've done a little bit of anyway. We're not struggling around water, but struggling with new people, a swimming coach, other kids. In September when we started, we don't want to get in the water and I was going to sit on the side and kick off. Saturday just gone, we hit a bit of a milestone's the wrong word, but we're jumping in head under the water, coming up with big grins on our faces. So just that accomplishment in pushing boundaries and confidence building over the last few months of swimming lessons and the like is just amazing to see. The transformation from sitting on the side, kicking off, I don't want to get wet, daddy, all these other people here, whereas, well, you like swimming, we've been quite a bit. But this is a bit more formal to a point, although the coach we've got is amazing. Other kids we don't know, just not having it. And to go full circle to jumping in, playing the games, head under the water, it's brilliant. So we'll keep going there. But that the grins on the faces, that was a particular high point of my week.
I think those little wins, those things that to a lot of people might seem insignificant, but when you've been there through the battles and through the difficulties, just those little things can mean so much, can't they?
They do. And just so example, we start and the swimming coaches just splash around a bit, get used to getting your bit of water splashed around a bit, to now last week, Saturday just gone, was the first time totally submerged for only a couple of seconds after we've jumped in, but just that happy, not kicking off, being submerged, big grin on your face. That's the fence jumped, if that makes sense. That's the confidence proof. Oh, I can do this. Everyone else does this and I can do it too. And that massive grin was, well worth all the bribery of stickers and whatever else.
And that was just a swimming cheater trying to bribe you, was it?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah. No, the kids get the stickers, I get the sweeties.
That sounds a little bit dodgy that you're the one getting sweeties.
A figure like this doesn't look after itself, does it?
Hey, I always say I've not got a six-pack, I've got a party keg.
Yes, we are somewhat more rotund than we should. Go on, move it on. We're waffling again.
I'm a lot more rotund than I should be. Do you want to hear something actually really funny? Well, it is funny, but it's not funny at the same time. So I'm trying to lose some weight, same as you.
Yeah.
I've been kind of going to the gym quite a bit, trying to do a bit of working out. I'd stopped for a little while because one thing and another, just a bit crazy at Christmas. And I hate going to the gym in January because it's always rammed with people. Wait till about the second week of February, it'll be dead again because all the people that had their New Year's resolution of going to the gym will have decided to give up. My gym, that I'm a lifetime member of, went up in flames last week.
In flames?
Yes. Apparently it was only a relatively small fire and they are reopening, but they had a fire in the sauna, so they've been shut for a time. I think they're due to reopen at some point this week.
Okay.
But it then transpired, this is something, and I'm not going to talk bad about them because I'm sure they've been trying really hard, and the guy that owns the gym has been trying really hard, and his name has been put through the mud a little bit by the press. But it then got reported in the press that they've entered a CVA.
Okay. Tough times.
So they've entered the CVA for £2.2 million,
Yep.
of which they owe, I think it was 1.2 million to HMRC.
Yep.
So if you're a business owner that has, that you go, oh, I'm a month or so behind on the HMRC, don't get me wrong, do what you can to get it paid. But when you're over £1 million
Yeah. They've got bigger
in debt
problems
to
than you, haven't
HMRC, then yeah, HMRC are probably chasing that money a little bit more.
they?
So, but I couldn't believe it. And
Yeah.
I say he's a huge employer. This gym owner is a huge employer in the local area. To an extent, I really feel for him because there was lots of people saying, "Oh, insurance job and this, that, and the other." I don't think it was.
We've been there. We know it's painful. Well, I've had stories
It
going
is.
round after me, and you think that's a touch unfair. I've done my best, and it just hasn't gone to plan. Sorry, And people like a story, and they like to be a hero. So sometimes they create a villain, and it sells newspapers, or it gets clicks on. And one person in particular, two staff, former staff, but one of them in particular was saying quite a bit, and I think, well, that's not true. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? But there we are. She wanted to tell a story. They wanted to tell a story, and they're the hero. I'm the villain. Okay,
yeah.
Move on. The world cares an awful lot less than what you think the world cares. I've probably not worded that very well, but when you're in your own head and isn't things terrible and just because I've balls up here, the world hates me. No, it doesn't. The world largely doesn't care.
Today's news is tomorrow's fit paper.
More often than not, that's exactly the case. Well, that's what I've found anyway.
I think you're quite right there, because I've often thought and dwelled on things in the past where you think, oh, I'm the villain. And whilst a few people may try and carry you off as the villain and keep it going and this, that, and the other, generally, when you think about our place in the world, and this isn't meant in a negative way, but we are insignificant, and the things that we have and going on are insignificant.
The amount of your clients, customers, that have been there or have been close to people who have been there, majority of them are very understanding.
Well, it's strange because obviously we've been through it. We've both been through kind of insolvency type things.
Yeah.
And I found myself again saying to another business owner who said he's struggling and he doesn't know what to do and he doesn't know whether it's worth kind of carrying on. I actually turned around to him the other day and said, "Do you want the number of the insolvency practitioner? Because maybe it's the best thing for you." And insolvency practitioners are, I actually think they're brilliant. Not for what they do in terms of making you insolvent, but for making you feel a little bit better.
Yes. Do you know how busy they are at the minute? It is very common. It is very common that a lot of people are choosing this way out because you hit a wall where you go, I've tried everything. What am I going to do? Going to lose my house? What am I going to do? And you sit down and have this conversation. It's right. I do this for a living. I've done it thousands of times. Lots of people do this. We're very busy at the minute.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Here's what we're going to do. The only thing I just want to caveat there, once you've started that initial conversation, you are logged as having had that advice, which puts slightly different rules on what you're doing. So once you've had that advice, you are then legally obliged to pay your biggest creditor first and or percentages of amounts owed. So example, I went in and said, look, I've got these orders. I want to fulfill those orders, but I've not got a way out. I'm fucked. I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. But, and he went, right, if you buy the materials to fulfill those orders, you're breaking the law because you owe HMRC more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I would agree entirely, have that conversation with somebody, but have an off-the-record chat first, not with an official appointment with the practitioner, because once you've had that conversation, you are legally obliged to pay your biggest creditor first.
One thing I was always told, was that the thing that is quite good though is that an insolvency practitioner is not bound by the same rules as your accountant in terms of reporting things. So whilst they are bound by a set of rules, there's certain things that you can tell your insolvency practitioner that you can't tell your accountant.
Yeah,
or you should. It's not advisable to tell your accountant, because your accountant is then legally bound, because they are agents for HMRC at the end of the day. I was told that by somebody. You can be a little bit more honest with your insolvency practitioner, and I'm not telling anybody to lie. But what I mean is you can be a little bit more open, should I say, with your insolvency practitioner, or with an insolvency practitioner, than an accountant.
It's tough, isn't it? Because
it is.
No, we don't want to do anything wrong as such, but hang on a minute. I might lose my house here. And it's if I do try to restructure and go again, I need to keep that customer happy, otherwise I can't get back off the ground. So it's trying to navigate that whilst not breaking any rules, which is easy when you get the right advice.
Yes, I
fully agree. Timing that is important, and making sure you use the right advice is also important. And like you say, I know someone who's shit hot, and he basically, I've still got my house.
And if you're listening to this and you're at that point, then drop us an email. Don't get me wrong. We're not going to give you financial advice or anything. But there's guys that have been through it. We understand how you feel, and that often you feel there's nowhere to turn. That's kind of what we're here for, and it kind of helped us too, for being able to talk to each other about it.
Yeah, massively. You were hugely important to me, because you'd been through it 6 months or whatever it was, a year in front of me. So I'm happy to share my story with people who are struggling at the minute. And that's all I can do. We've been there. It sucks. There's a way out. And then, by Christ, I'm glad I did that. Why didn't I do it a year before?
Yeah.
Hey ho.
Anyway, I'm exactly the same.
We're waffling again, aren't we?
So that kind of brings us nicely onto, I suppose, well, not nicely, but brings us on to, tell me about your low point of this week. Because there's highs and there's lows. We've been through lows.
I'll tell you what my struggle is at the minute, and it's constant, and it's staff absence.
Yeah.
Now, people listening who employ staff, I've just heard you all go, oh yeah, bloody hell, everybody has some, but absence, unplanned, you can't help being poorly, you can't help the odd transport issue, but some staff, I've got some very good staff, however, they don't. Sometimes you think, I'd have still come to work. If I've got a puncture on my bike, I'd catch the bus. Can you still come to work, please? There's things like that. And then you've got customers all with work booked in. You've got to ring round and do all the apologies again. It's going to be late again. It's constant. The last few months, it seems, I don't think there's been many weeks when everybody who was meant to be in has been in. So alongside a holiday booked, suddenly just hadn't turned up again. It's like, for fuck's sake. We're recording this on a Monday. On Monday, the guy who had all last week off, Paulie, is back in, but 2 others are off. And for fuck's sake, you can't, So that's my low point. That's just not improving. And I've got a few things to improve it. We found a freelance staff member. I've found 2 companies who we can give overspill work to, and that might just get us out of the shit and through it all. And equally, if that could be a long-term thing, we're a bit short. Can you help us out again? Dave's, Simon, Tony, whatever. Because it's frustrating for me to tell the people who do our Google adverts, take them down. Can't get the work out anyway. People ringing me, oh, got an order for you. No, sorry, got to give it to someone else. How frustrating is that? So that's a bit of a kick. It's horrible. Yeah. That's a bit of a kick. And the clients who want to keep happy, or the product ranges who want to keep happy, we're saying, yes, we'll do it all. And then, oh, fuck, how am I going to do this? Well, at least Friday and today, we had some conversations where we can get a bit of help with that. But it's been a constant battle, and I admitted defeat last week. I says to the lady who runs a factory with us, just look, we're going to admit defeat now. I'm sick of this. Find some freelance. I'll speak to some contacts in the industry, and we'll just farm the work out to somebody else. I'm sick of being in this situation every fucking week. But that's it, really. That's my moan. The moan isn't so much it happens. The moan is in the last 3 or 4 months, it's still happening. It's constantly happening. There's always something, and it's like, for fuck's sake. So that's my low point, the dawning realisation of admitting defeat. This isn't getting any better.
And it's frustrating, isn't it? Because you never have staff off when you're quiet.
Oh, no, they're always there.
Sometimes you're at a quiet point, And you'd be kind of quite grateful of having a few staff sick because you just think, oh, I've just saved. Don't get me wrong, we do pay statutory sick like most manufacturing places. It's just statutory. There's not that many that pay full pay, I don't think.
I can't afford to.
Well, that's it. But paying statutory can actually work in your favour. I mean, we've got layoff clauses in our contracts, as again, a few manufacturing places, I think.
Yeah, we do.
We tend not to invoke them, mainly because we're usually busy enough. Although we've had a really quiet January. When I say quiet, we've had a lot of work in January that we know isn't due until March, and we've been using it as filler work.
Yeah, because the other thing is, yes, I hear what you're saying, but we should be making money and getting work out the door. We're not getting the work out the door. We're not making money. Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Anyway, your turn. Go on. Depress me further. Yeah. Let's not be two blokes just talking about our dreary lives. Come on.
My life isn't dreary. Look, I'll tell you, do you know my biggest low of this week, and it's not work related? It's that unfortunately my dog sitter isn't able to look after my dogs next weekend.
Okay.
I was due to go and have some time down on, I'd say it's a family farm, but it's not. It's my daughter's mum's cousin's farm, and I'm still. So it's my ex-partner's or ex-wife's cousin's farm that we spent a lot of time at. And it's really nice that I've still got a relationship with her and her husband. Absolutely love it. And I haven't been down there in so long. And it's in the middle of nowhere, right in the middle of a moor. And it's just a perfect escape. And I love getting my hands dirty doing a bit of farming. So I was so looking forward to that this weekend until last night when my dog sitter said, I'm really sorry, can't look after the dogs. Something's come up. So I'm kind of like, oh, and that's actually kind of knocked me for six a little bit because it was a break I was really looking forward to.
That break would have done you some good.
I know that with timings and things, it's going to be another month before I can get down. So that's been a real low point for me actually this week, and that only happened today.
If anybody listening really wants to look after some dogs this weekend. You never know. You never know. You might.
Yeah, you never do.
Even if you're listening on 1.5 times speed and want to look after some dogs this weekend.
Boys, and somebody's listening on 1.5 speed. It'll just sound really ridiculous.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I genuinely didn't know that was a thing.
I have one of my members of staff listens to a lot of podcasts, and he told me that he listens on 1.5 speed. Just because he can get through them a bit quicker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whether you can make out what they're saying or not, I don't know. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. And I'll report back next week when I've given one a go and see what I thought.
You do that. Are you going to listen to a podcast?
Yeah.
Wow. You're not a podcasty person, really.
Not normally. Not normally. I like the odd one every now and then, but not normally.
I am. I like a good podcast.
I hear there's two blokes who bore each other with every minute of their dreary lives. I might give that one a go.
Yeah, I would do. I would do. Actually, for listeners out there, if you've got any recommendations of really good podcasts, then do leave us a comment or drop us an email, podcast@parentingbusiness.com, and tell us, because I'm always up for a good podcast. I listen to a few different ones, both kind of funny ones and businessy ones and parenting ones and all sorts. I love a podcast while I'm driving, so any recommendations, I'm always open to them.
Yeah, and I mean, something that crossed my mind is the person who left us this review, not the one with constructive feedback, the other one that we all love so much. I was curious as to what a good podcast actually is. And on their profile, the things that they've favorited are glutes exercises. For seniors, I think it was. So maybe we could improve our podcast, get rid of this bookcase behind me, and do some glutes exercises. Now that we've got video on YouTube, that could be a discerning factor.
I am not letting you get into some sort of leotard like Mr. Motivator from GMTV, for those that are old enough to remember GMTV, and scare even more people away.
He used to do it in Benidorm, didn't he? I'll go to Benidorm, do some glutes exercises. No, all jokes aside, my glutes are probably not be the first thing I exercise, in honesty. But we're waffling again. Moving on. We had another thought when we was thinking what else we could do to engage a few of you out there, get you writing in. And whilst I'm trying to brainstorm what else we can sort of do, and I'm taking my 3 kids, twins are 4 and little lad's 18, to nursery, but it's still not fully daylight. And the question I got: why is the moon's in the sky? Why is the moon in the sky? And how do I explain that to a 4-year-old? And I thought, why is the moon in the sky? So I wimped out, just ask Cheryl. Cheryl's a nursery school teacher. Cheryl knows all about the moon and why it's in the sky. Ask Cheryl. Got out of that one. And it dawned on me, we're always being asked questions and we ain't got a bloody clue. Why should I eat my vegetables? It's good for you. Why is it good for you? They've got vitamins in. Why are the vitamins in carrots? Well, it comes from the nutrients in the soil and they're just really good for you. How's it get in the soil? How do nutrients get in the soil, and why are they in carrots? Bloody no. We are massive Mickey Mouse Clubhouse fans here. Who isn't? Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Right. If you don't watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, give it a go. Fucking brilliant. Why does Mickey Mouse wear shorts and nothing on his top? And why does Donald Duck wear a shirt and a hat but no trousers? Why is that?
I'm going to stop you there.
Especially, don't stop me yet, especially, other than when Donald Duck gets out the shower. When Donald Duck gets out the shower...
That's exactly what I was going to say.
He's got a towel around his waist. Why does Donald Duck have a towel around his waist when he gets out of the shower, completely naked from the waist down going forward? Why is that, Daddy?
I've always wondered that. So if you can answer me that.
Why, listeners, why is the moon in the sky? Why does carrots have vitamins in? And why does Donald Duck not wear trousers and Mickey Mouse don't wear a T-shirt?
No, sod that. I'm actually going to chat GPT it now.
Don't, because that's the point of the listeners to write in with their answers. What would you say to a 4-year-old? Your answers have got to be for a 4-year-old, don't forget. Why is the moon in the sky? Fucking no.
No, I'm actually...
So our next review, right, our next review isn't 2 people dull as dishwater. It's one of them watching the other one Google stuff on ChatGPT. That's not entertainment, Stu, come on.
Oh, no, this is quite a poor answer, actually. Well, I don't know whether it's a poor answer.
Listeners will have a better one. Go on, listeners, can you beat this answer from ChatGPT?
Right, so this answer, it's actually, I'll be honest, it's not ChatGPT, it's Gemini.
Okay.
Because
don't know what that means, but fine.
I'm a
Gemini,
Google
that's a star sign, isn't it?
That's a star sign, isn't
Go
it
on.
to you? Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. So, supposedly, firstly, visual communication, the gag logic. If Donald Duck walked out the bathroom without a towel, he would look exactly like he does in every other scene.
Okay.
So by adding a towel, the animators signal that to the audience that he's currently naked. The second one is the wet fur theory. I thought ducks had feathers, but this is called the wet fur. Dry, his white feathers are fluffy and opaque, acting like a natural suit of clothes. But wet, just like a wet T-shirt or wet hair, feathers become matted and potentially see-through. So it might be that his feathers are see-through.
She's 4. My twins are 4. Why doesn't Mickey Mouse wear a T-shirt? I don't know.
Here we go. This is where they go on to logic. So preventing a mess.
Yeah, we don't want logic.
On a functional level, ducks are water resistant but not drip proof.
Who wants to listen to logic?
By wearing a towel, he is preventing water from dripping all over the floor.
Okay, I'll get that. I'll give you that one.
There you go. So you could tell your daughter that he's not...
Water doesn't drip on the floor because you got a towel on. Okay.
Yeah. So by using a towel, is keeping the floor dry.
I've found a use for ChatGPT then. So, can you beat that answer, listeners? Why is the moon in the sky? Why don't Mickey Mouse have a T-shirt on? Answers on a postcard.
Yeah, it'd be worse if Minnie Mouse didn't have a T-shirt on. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree. Will my 4-year-old daughter be happy with that as an answer? We'll see. Probably not. We shall
and
see.
I think what's the have you got anything planned for the week ahead specifically? Just keeping it brief so that we don't waffle on and bore people too much.
Yes, I'm going back to the theatre.
Oh, you are? Yes.
We are. My mother listens to some of these. I'm hoping she doesn't listen before the weekend, but it's my mum's birthday on Saturday. So on Sunday we're going to a rock concert, and Saturday's got the usual dance class, swimming, etc. So we'll go see her on her birthday in the afternoon after dance class and swimming, and then we're going to a rock concert, take the mother to a rock concert.
Nice.
It's CBeebies rock concert, so it's not quite it's not Black Sabbath or anything, it's Misty Tumble, but I know it'll be fun, so yeah.
Mr. Tumble does rock?
Yeah, it's Justin, it's not Mr. Tumble, so he's not in character, as it were. But yeah, there's videos of it on YouTube. Maybe they're the better videos we should be watching. Mr. Tumble doing a rock concert. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Maybe if Mr. Tumble did a podcast.
Tune in to us next week, because the guest we've got is brilliant, but the one after, sack us off and watch Mr. Tumble doing a rock concert. Sounds a lot more fun, doesn't it? Go on, what are you up to? And then we'll call it a day.
Sounds good. Actually, I don't know.
Oh.
Now my plans have been totally changed.
You're not going to the farm anymore.
I'm not going to the farm, so we shall see. Watch this space.
Watch this space. We'll tell you next week.
If anybody's free at the weekend, then drop us an email.
Come for a dog walk.
I've got nothing on. Yeah. I've not got my daughter, so yeah, I'm quiet this weekend.
Yeah,
I might, to be honest, if the gym's recovered from its smoke damage, I might go to the gym.
If not, you're doing a Donald Duck and having nothing on.
If not, no, I couldn't do that. Jeez, I wouldn't want to.
Bit chilly this time of year, isn't it? People will think you're going fishing. Yeah.
At least if it's a bit chilly, I've got a bit of an excuse. In the middle of summer and you're walking around naked, you can't say, "Oh yeah, it's just really cold," can you? I'll leave you to ponder that one.
Yeah, I think I've missed the joke there. Tune in next week when we discover what the hell he's on about and see if we have any other 5-star reviews for one of the most uninspiring things you've ever listened to at 1.5 times speed.
And if you have got to the end of this episode, please don't forget to follow us on Spotify or YouTube or wherever you listen. Do also feel free to get in touch with your stories or top tips about how you balance your parenting business. You can either leave us a comment or drop us an email. Drop us an email with anything to podcast@parentingbusiness.com. Also, if you like what you hear or you don't like what you hear, please share the podcast with any other parents or business owners that you think might enjoy this drivel. And leave us a 5-star review, but put whatever you like in the comment. You can put that it was absolute crap in the comments, as long as the review is 5-star, because that 5-star review is what we need, the 5 stars. And I think on that note, it's time for us to say we will see you next Thursday.